Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Aquarius. Guys, take what you feel resonates, disregard the rest, go about your day, and know that no matter what messages come through, it's still up to you, your active free will, the choices you make, and the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment you'd like to see. To me, this is personal freedom, it's personal power, and my friends, it lies at the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet, so use that power to do wisely. For all my subscribers, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you felt like this resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe. I'd love to have you along the ride. So guys, please excuse the messy hair and everything. I've just got back from the gym and I have been really called to bring a reading. So I just want to say, even though I'm going to put the month of June on it, this message really is timeless. It's just what messages Spirit wants to bring through right now. So it could be resonating for something that's happened already, something that's happening now, or something that is coming up in the near future is what I heard, okay? So I'm just going to take a moment before I get into the cards to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be there for the highest good of the entire collective. I'm going to ask them to join us and ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the most far-reaching, but only for the highest good of everyone involved. We're also going to ask for peace and love for everyone on the planet right now, and I just want to say, my friends, what I heard is count your many blessings. We need to make sure where our focus is, right? Because our intention and our focus has so much to do with our mood and so much to do with how we experience this world. So if you find yourself, whatever it is, getting stuck in a negative thought loop or a rut of negative emotions or negative thoughts, this is going to be something where you're going to want to actively clear it, send it away, and rewrite the script. So if you are finding yourself saying, you know, my life sucks, there's nothing going for me, or everything I do, it doesn't work, we want to change that to, my life is beautiful, I have so many blessings. And in terms of what you're doing, action is what came out here. I'm going to keep that card. But in terms of what you're doing, I heard is, you know, that saying, practice makes progress, right? The more you work at something, the more you're going to progress. And if you find that everything you're doing, if you're doing certain things and it's not working for you, they're saying a few different things. One is try something new, try it a different way. So there is definitely more than one way to do certain things. So I'm going to use the gym as an example here, just because it's what's in my mind. For example, okay, you can work out your triceps. Let's go with triceps, okay? You can do it a few different ways, right? There is not just one way. You can do like push-ups, right? Certain tricep push-ups, dips. You can grab those dumbbells, or you can use the machine and like do some pullbacks and like, what are they called? The overhead things. There's a whole bunch more, I'm sure, right? But here's where it's what works for you, because somebody may really like picking up those dumbbells, and another person may be like, you know what, it's just not for me, I like the machine, and someone else is like, girl, boy, let's do some push-ups, let's do some tricep dips. All of these different things, they're going to work that muscle, right? It's the same thing. There could be lots of different ways to get to the same goal. So what I heard is just reevaluate, what is my goal? How am I going towards it? And this is kind of like an experiment. This is write down what you're doing and what's working, what's not working, and then tweak the things that are not working, okay? So action here, it's interesting that while I was shuffling, this is the only card that came out. So I'm going to say right now, there's something that's coming to mind right away with this black and the white horse, and this is the yin and yang. And what I feel like is something is going to come quick. This could be your actions, but also whatever actions we take, Spirit's saying it needs to be done in balance. So if we are spending, here's going back to this tricep, okay? If we are working out and all we're doing is triceps, and we have like this massive tricep, but the rest of us is feeling pretty weak, this is not balanced, right? We want to make sure that we're getting a full body burn in, that we're covering our muscle groups, right? We're not just focusing on our triceps. You may want to look at biceps as well, right? So this is making sure that as you're taking action, it's done in balance. They're also giving me like food choices and things like this as well, that, and I'm going to just use the the example for if you're trying to build muscle, okay? You want to make sure you're getting your protein in there, right? You want to make sure, for even if you're not building muscle, protein's super important for our bodies. But making sure that not only with the protein, but you're having some vegetables, right? And some carbs. I know not everybody eats carbs, and to each their own, right? But there needs to be, this is also balance. And in terms of like the actions which are going with this too, is this is our choices, and I struggle with that as well, right? We think about what I heard is like the impulsive or in the moment on something may look really good and you really want it, and then later you're like, you know what, like there's something about overindulgence here, okay? Making sure that we're not overindulging, we're just doing everything in balance. So before I get into the tarot, I'm going to ask a few more messages. This is the energy oracle here that I have by Sandra Ann Taylor. So let's get a little clarification for Aquarius, please. Thank you. Love. Some of you, okay, are going to be entering into new relationships, taking action towards love. Some of you, this action, whatever we're doing, this could be towards self-love, right? This is coming into more balance. You have the angel of love here, which is really, really powerful, because I also feel like this is saying, you know what, everything you do, do it with love. How we treat our body, do it with love. So again, I'm going to use the muscle because it's the example that's working through here. But I also heard this is for your body. So if we're going to work out, if we're going to focus on muscle groups, if we're going to be training, okay, depending on what you're doing, okay, just fit your analogy in there. We don't want to do it because we hate our body. What's the point of that? We want to do it because we love our body. We want to, if we're going towards someone with love, we don't want to do it because we feel expected to. We want to do it because this is what our heart is telling us to do. I'm going to get one more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. And you have the Magician in the mirror. And this comes back a lot to what I said about, you know, our thoughts are so powerful. They have the ability to create. We have Archangel Michael on the bottom. I'm going to keep that out. But they have the ability to create our feelings and to create, you know, our experience. Because again, if we're always coming with a negative mindset, or if we're always finding something to complain about, we are not looking at what our blessings are. And Spirit's going to bring more of that in. So we need to be really conscious and aware of our actions. And this even comes down to thoughts, right? And words and what we say and what we do. As well as they're coming with, do our actions match our words? Do our actions match what we said we were going to do? Because for some of us, this is also, what I heard is for some of you, acts of service may be your love language, or they may be your partner's love language. So if, like, just for example, right, like if your partner does something for you, like let's say for example, like the dishes, or like my hubby and I have this when he's home, we have this, I will pack the lunches, but he's going to wash the lunch containers, right? Because if I'm doing all of this, I'm not feeling pretty loved, right? It just feels like, it's not that I wouldn't feel loved, but for me, that act of service, doing that and helping me out, it's more equal, right? And I think for some of us, again, this has to come in balance, because if you pack it, you shouldn't be the one having to clean it if somebody else is there. This is also kind of like, what I heard is give and take. And if this is within a partnership as well, making sure that things are balanced. Because again, if you're focusing on all the negative aspects of a person, of a relationship, you are creating an experience here. And so Archangel Michael, Spirit's like, Archangel Michael saying, call on him. Ask him to help guide you, ask him to protect you. And there's 3 affirmations that I usually associate with him. I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm loved. This also is root chakra, your first chakra. And this is, to me, where the more balanced we are in our actions, the more rooted we are in our actions, the more easily you're going to be able to create. And what I heard is it's going to be visible. So this Magician in the mirror, there's a lot of things, right? Taking a look at ourselves and just making sure that our actions are matching and aligning with our words, that our intentions are pure. And again, that we're creating a world for ourselves that's full of love, and we're creating an internal narrative that's full of love as well, so that can kind of reach out to other people. Because also something I'm hearing is like, if we are not treating ourselves with love, if we're not treating ourselves with kindness, it may not be coming out the same to other people either, right? And what I heard is, what is the experience of you? There's also that too. So I have with me the Animal Wisdom Tarot, and we have the Otter. That's awesome. The Three of Cups that's come out. And this is playfulness, this is joy, this is companionship, this is community, this is working together. For some of you, this is friendship, this is family, this is just enjoying the company of other people. Absolutely beautiful. And if you see, they're all happy, they're all smiling. There is the 3 lily pads, the 3 otters, the 3 shells, and there's 3 birds. They also have the 3 cattails here as well. I heard 333, but there was 3334. 33 is also a master number that and they're showing me, okay, we have mirror time, mirrors. What's this one? Yeah, 3553, and we have the Magician in the mirror. Interesting. I do feel like it's going to be like a lot, because again, you have how we are internally, it projects out, but it also sets up our experience and how we experience this world. So Spirit's saying right now, spend some time with your family, spend some time with your friends, do things that make your life fun. Do things that make your life fun. Spirit, can you give me a little bit more about this 3 of shells here, please? And the Otter. Okay, so have some cards that have come out here. We have the 5 of shells with the jellyfish, the 7 of feathers with the magpie, and this key here. We have the 10 of shells with the hippos, and the messenger of magic with the raven. This is the Magician. So 2 magicians. This is a pretty what I heard is it's a prosperous time, but it is a time to get some stuff done. There's a lot of magic in the air. In Spirit, we are in Gemini season, okay? Spirit is really saying to honor your thoughts, honor your wishes, to remember that you have within you everything that is necessary to create magic. You are your own inner alchemist. You have the ability to turn this 5 of Cups and feeling left out and in the dark, and like things have been turned over, because in this 5, they're not open, they're not receptive. Where in all of this 3 of Cups, they're all open, they're all receptive, they're all going to pull love in. For some of you, something that's holding us back, okay, there is 3 more cards I'll show you, but this is what I got first, and then I'll come into this. For some of us, what is holding us back? Some of us is shit we were told as children, okay? Untruths that we've internalized, or lies that we've internalized, ways of thinking that we've internalized. For some of us, a lot of what I heard is like, if we had really negative parents, or if we have really negative people around us, you could be like absorbing that, especially if you kind of consider yourself an empath. You could be absorbing their energy. Even if you're not, you don't consider yourself an empath. Pay attention to how you are around people. How does your mood shift? Do you all of a sudden feel pain somewhere? Do you feel yucky? Or all of a sudden, if they're complaining to you or telling their stories of woe, do you start to feel a little less happy? Or are you feeling like just because someone around you is happy, you should dull down? There's a lot here, okay? But what I heard is with the circus tent, not your circus, not your monkeys. If it is not yours to deal with, we do not need to internalize this. So there's a difference. We can definitely come to be a support and show love with our friends without adopting their mentality, okay? So it's just kind of like, you may be picking up on someone else close to you's kind of energy as well, or someone else close to you could have some more like darker energy, and this is where it's not that we don't love people, but we want to shield and protect. So ask Archangel Michael to shield you from their energy. Ask him to put a bubble of protection around and put that mighty sword down, and no one can infiltrate. It's also going to be important, what I heard, for you to call on Archangel Michael potentially daily, especially if you are getting what I heard is dark intrusive thoughts or something like this. And smudge your house, my friends. You can use sage, you can use Palo Santo. For some of you who don't have that, imagine that your whole house is filling up with this beautiful white radiant light, almost blinding. And as you imagine room to room to room, this light growing and this light filling your house, set the intentions. You can open a window too, but set the intentions that anything that is not of that light, it needs to go with love to be transmuted and go out that window, or that light can burn it the hell up. Whatever you need to do. To be honest, and I'm going to share this part, sometimes at nighttime if I get like anxiety or something like that as well, I will do that. I will first off, set my house, everybody in it, and then depending on, it's been a while since I've had to do it, but depending on how much anxiety I have, I will imagine the people I love, and I will cover them in that white light too. Every single one of them, they're all in the white light, they're protected, they're safe. And usually by the time that's happened, if I'm in a really like super anxiety, I'm not sleeping, it helps me sleep. So for some of you as well, if you are having sleep issues, because we have the crow here with the 9 of feathers, and she is kind of sleeping in the slumber here, but she's protected within this. And this is amazing too, having the raven and the crow come out, these two beautiful cousins and magic birds essentially, because they are in contact with the spirit realm. So what I'm also hearing is, we have these two, I'll show you in a minute too. If you see birds, if you see crows and they're crossing your path, if you hear them, pay attention to what's going around, pay attention to the time. These could be little spirit nudges, as well as for some of you, crows, we have the magpie here as well. They're totem animals. In South Korea, the magpie is like a special sacred bird. They're it's annoying. I remember like we had some magpies outside the tree in my apartment when I was in Korea, and they drove me nuts just because I couldn't really sleep. And a cuckoo bird. I'd never heard one properly in my life, and oh my gosh, they did drive me a little cuckoo. But I remember saying to my students, like, this bird, like, is an evil bird, evil saint bird. They're like, no, teacher, it's a special bird. And it is a special bird because this bird also holds this key to knowledge. So for some of you, you're going to benefit a lot from looking into these totems. And for some of you, I find this interesting as well because both wings are up. This wing with this nightmare card, or this, you've been sleeping and it's time to wake up, it's time to come out of whatever you've been through because that's over. It's time to open up the other wing and to accept your magic, to know that you are this alchemist again, and you can create joy, you can create love, you can create happiness in your world, you can create stability, and you can have this happy family life no matter what has happened in your world and whatever's going on. That this 5 of shells energy is here again. This is a fallacy. This is something that we need to actively change this, because again, just because we're fed ideas doesn't mean that we can't change them. So I have here the sea turtle, which is the nurturer of shells, the Queen of Cups. I feel like even though Aquarius, I do feel like this is your energy. Okay, I feel like this is you and you're nurturing, you and you're loving. For some of you, you might be moms. If you're not, it doesn't matter. If you are a dad, this is, your nurturing side coming out, right? It doesn't matter here gender. It's just that this particular nurturer of shells with the 3 of fossils here, this is working together. This is working in spirit with this beautiful prairie dog. But this is also, I find, like, really making sure that the people around you are feeling loved, right? And I do think for a lot of you, that's your love language, is making sure that the people around you, they know they're loved, whether this is doing things for them, act of service, whether this is cooking them a meal, giving them a hug, telling them how much you love them, spending time with them, all of these different things. And I think it's just going to be really important on, what's important to you. I get a strong, strong family vibe here. And this is just knowing that if there's been a time of turmoil, or if there's been just a drought as well, you have the power within you to change this situation. Nothing lasts forever, my friends. So the bottom of the deck is the 2 of branches in the reverse. Again, this just comes down to any action that's being made. We want to make sure that it is in balance, that it's not going to burn the place down, right? What is interesting, though, with this, because, again, this is wands, this is fire energy, this is our power to do, it's right by the water. So if it gets out of control, we can douse it. So for some of you, again, what I'm hearing is, if your emotional state is a little out of control, We want to douse that shit. We want to figure out what the root cause of it is. It could, again, be coming from somewhere else. Excuse me. So again, I am picking up on that. You want a sage, right? They're coming again with this light in the dark as well. For some of you, if we're constantly in this kind of down state, in this negative state, that's where your magic's coming from. So I think it's important to remember, especially if we're upset with someone, or if something bad is going, if we have super strong emotions and we're talking it, those words are spells as well. The energy that we put out, that energy can go to people. So for some of you, if you've pissed someone off and you keep feeling kind of like this way, smudge it and send it back. Because for some of you, without this person even potentially knowing, they could be sending this energy to you because they're pissed off, right? When we have heavy, strong emotions and we're projecting it outwards, especially those of us that are sensitive, you're going to pick up on it. For some of you as well, like you may randomly just start thinking about somebody that you haven't in a while, or if you think you've gotten over a situation that's happened, whatever the 5 shells is, and then you start kind of like thinking about it again. It could be because this person is also thinking about you and you're picking up on those brainwaves. So I'm going to leave you with a parting message. And we're going to use it from the message from the mermaids, please. So it has 2. 1, solitude and healing. For some of you, if you're feeling dysregulated, if you're feeling out of balance, this is taking some time alone. For some of you, go for a walk. Go for a swim. But do you see how this mermaid, in her solitude, is sitting? She's sitting at the bottom of the ocean. She's sitting in the depths. That's where we find the healing. Sorry about the glare, guys. But this solitude, this time where for some of you this may even be like important to do like a 5-minute meditation a day. It doesn't have to be long. It can be even just deep breaths in and out, calling in Archangel Michael, breathing in love and light and joy and healing, and asking for guidance on how you can help. What I heard is break the chains of whatever energy is stopping you from moving forward, whatever energy has kind of had you cocooned here in safety or having a safety net, and that would stop you from really taking flight here, because there's so much beautiful energy in this. Your friends are going to be important. For some of you, you may want to join a healing group, join a Reiki group is what I heard, but do something, because that even if it's not in terms of anybody else, this could be family members as well, that, you know, we want everyone to heal. We want everyone to know that they're loved. I want to read to you, before I part, a message from the healing one. Okay, healing. It says, set aside a time for self-healing. Welcome and allow healing energy to flow into your life, or share your healing energy with others. These mermaids bring a powerful healing energy into your reading today. This healing can be for your mind, body, or spirit, and for all 3 if you don't mind healing all this at this time. Or if you don't need healing at all this time, then it's for someone close to you or the recipient of the reading. Part of the healing process is to believe you deserve to be healed, and to also be receptive on a subconscious level to healing energies. If you're not receptive, they can't come, right? We need to have free will. Now, this might sound strange, but feeling and truly believing that you're worthy of being healed is a huge part of becoming whole again and free from dis-ease. Are you being called to heal another? Have you considered a path in the healing arts? There are so many ways to administer healing. Simply listening can greatly help someone to feel heard, which in turn can lead to inner healing and transformation. Perhaps you've recently completed a healing course. If so, this card is confirmation that it's time to take your healing skills out into the world. Have you been delaying your own healing? Sunlight is a powerful healing energy that most of us have access to fairly regularly. It can make you feel energized and uplifted. So slather the sunscreen cream on and go out and enjoy it in a safe way. Once you prioritize time for self-care and healing, you'll be able to face the world again with vigor and enthusiasm. What are you waiting for? Do it now. And I think that that is exactly it, right? We need to believe that we're worthy of this healing. Because there's so many beautiful things in your life, and you deserve to be healed and to be free and to be happy. Your loved ones deserve that as well. So again, get that co-creator within yourself. Allow this healing to happen. And what I'm hearing as well, because again with healing it's messy, if there's stuff that's coming up throughout this healing that isn't really nice to remember or doesn't feel really good, you're getting certain feelings, don't block them away. Sit with it for a minute, feel it, and say, thank you, Spirit, for helping me to heal this. I also want to give you one last piece of advice here for healing, especially if you are having to give self-forgiveness. If there's a situation that's really upset you in the past or anything, I want you to imagine this in your head, okay? So if you're getting pain and thinking about this, imagine going back into that place. Imagine yourself in that position and tell yourself, hey, stop this course now. It's just going to lead you to ruin and pain. You don't want to do it, promise. And then give yourself a hug and say, look, I forgive you for the time that we've done this, but there are learning experiences along the way. And, you know, when you open your eyes, so you could take a couple deep breaths, close your eyes when you do this. When you open your eyes, I hope that you feel so much better. Especially, you know, and I do want to just put one more thing out there. If you have someone in your world who's constantly making you question or doubt your worthiness, get rid of them. Love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.